Hey everybody, Ryan here with Ray's latest, and today we're going to talk about the Dominican Republic USA game that just happened, as well as some other roster cuts and spring training news that have been going on the past couple of days. First, just to talk about the WBC, Junior Caminero, second inning, absolute bomb off of Paul Skeens. It was kind of a hanging slider that didn't really break much, and he kind of just got all of it. And for those, and that was the only run the DR scored in the entire game, which is good for Team USA. Obviously, I would love for Team USA to be able to win the WBC. They're going to play the winner of Italy and Venezuela on Tuesday, and so just seeing how he performed in that game it's a bright spot for the race for sure. I mean, obviously. You have the spring training, you have everything else going on, but the WBC is kind of that thing where a lot more goes into it. And seeing him just continuously perform throughout all of the World Baseball Classic is good to see. And hitting off the best pitcher in baseball and taking him deep for a homer is another great thing to see. And Griffin Jacks as well came in the seventh inning today, looked great as well. Three up, three down, no runs, no hits, no walks. Looked great. And I've just continuously seen players from the Rays organization just be able to compete and arguably be better than everybody else that I've seen. And from Griffin Jack's perspective, that's kind of more of a that's one of those where it's a little different. He has been great every time that he's came out and pitched, but on the contrary to that, you have people like Mason Miller and David Bednar and Garrett Whitlock and people like that that have also done the same exact thing. So it's a little different from a pitching perspective than it is from a hitting perspective, where we've seen Aranda do very well. Caminero has done extremely well. And Clevenger and Jax, they've been consistent out of the USA bullpen. There has not been a problem with them so far. And hopefully off is in the finals so there isn't one. But just seeing from what they've done, they've been good. They've been great. And just a consistency perspective from Rays players in the WBC, even the minor league guys have been good. And I am very excited to kind of see how they continue to go on for the rest of this coming season. And I think that just kind of World Baseball Classic tune-up is great for them. And we'll kind of see how that translates over for them. But next, I want to talk about some roster cuts, some roster shuffling issues. So obviously spring training roster, you have to send people up and down for minor league camp, and you kind of got to dwindle down that roster to that 26 number right before the season. Biggest name on the list so far, Xavier Isaac has obviously been sent down, as well as Jake Woodford has been sent down, as well as Trey Morgan, Gregory Barrios, Cooper Kinney, Braden Taylor, Kentry Piper, and Tatum Levens. So all nine of these guys have been sent down. No really shocks there. Obviously, I think that the biggest kind of shockers with that and is the Xavier Isaac and the Jake Woodford getting sent down. And the only reason why I say that is just because the name wise, and it's one of those things where we both knew that Xavier Isaac was not going to be on the big league roster to open up the season, but is a top prospect, big name. People know who he is, so it's a little more newsworthy per se for him to be sent down. Obviously, Jake Woodford being sent down, not too crazy thing to see, but that was another one of those bigger name guys that have been sent down. So we'll see how they kind of deal with that going into the season and kind of see how especially not as much as Xavier Isaac, but especially Jake Woodford, with him being a pitcher, kind of to see how they deal with the bullpen perspective with him and kind of how they go about that. But next thing I'll talk about, is the spring training game today as well. Cedric Mullins, 3 for 4 with a home run and 4 RBIs. Jake Fraley also went 3 for 3 with a stolen base, and they won 6-1 against the Pirates. Fraley is now hitting 444 on the spring, which is great news for the Rays, and obviously having such a crowded outfield room with Mullins and Simpson and Fraley and DeLuca and Melton and people of that nature. It's having seeing some people kind of stand out a little bit in that outfield room is good to see. And Fraley being a guy that's kind of put his name out there and has just been continuously productive at the plate and in the outfield, I don't see a reason why to keep him off the opening day roster. And I have been continuously very supportive of Jacob Melton over these past couple of weeks on this channel, but Jake Fraley's out competing him right now, and I think Mullins and Simpson are kind of two locks in the lineup in the outfield, and it's obviously kind of that right field spot is like who's going to play right field? Is it going to be Melton? Is it going to be Fraley? Is it going to be you name it, DeLuca? DeLuca and Fraley are extremely showing me good things right now, and I think Fraley is slightly leading the edge, in my opinion. And do I think that this could be one of those things where whoever's playing right field just depends on if the starting pitcher for the other team's a righty or a lefty come season time. That could be very true. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But obviously you have to cut down the roster to 26 by March 26th. So we will see how they kind of deal with that going on in right field. But Jake Fraley has looked great. He's been fantastic. Obviously hitting 444 on the spring. You got 2 more weeks of this, so we'll obviously continue to see how they kind of progress throughout the spring. But just seeing what he's done, I think he's the clear contender for right field at the moment against left or right-handed pitching, and kind of see how he kind of performs from there. But they had Chandler Simpson had a great play in the outfield. Cash said he's obviously improved the outfield defense and has been one of the brighter spots in spring training. And which that's one of those good things to see is just that obviously Chandler Simpson's ability in the outfield has been the big question mark over his past season in the big leagues and kind of in his minor league career. Just seeing how he continues to go from there. But him being able to make those improvements and Cash seeing those improvements and kind of speaking on those things is great to see. And I'm excited to kind of see how that goes out. But you guys let me know what you guys think about what's going on in the WBC, as well as what you think about the roster cuts and how you kind of think this right field situation is going to turn out. But you guys have a great one.